Hi, so we are going to continue on the session on devotion and faith. So I took this from Access to Insights, which is Bhikkhu Tanisaro's website. And well, what he's saying here is not exactly the bhakti, right? Bhakti, which is the Hinduism faith, where the Hindus will gather and they'll do japas, I think chanting and singing praises of God or their deity. So it's very faith, it's very love, it's very, pretty nice lah, right, to be in such community. So this slide is not saying that kind of faith. This slide is saying that how faith arise in a practical way by imitating the Buddha and understanding what it means to take refuge. Okay, so he said that taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha on the level of inner qualities means reaching the triple gem with the heart through practice. So this is practical devotion and faith arising from practical practice, experience. So he said, to reach the Buddha on the level of inner qualities, you first have to know the virtues of the Buddha, which are of two sorts, causes and results. Okay, so it's very science, right? What the cause you create and the results you experience. Yeah. So the cause of his awakening. What's the cause of awakening? Awakening is a result, right? The cause would be mindfulness and alertness. Yeah, mindfulness and alertness means what? It means you're very aware, mindful, and alert of what's going on with your mind. Okay? And to be mindful and alert of your mind, you cannot believe your thoughts all the time. You have to examine them. While it sounds very hard, especially if you haven't really done mindfulness practice or if you have a misunderstanding of what mindfulness is, then it'll be very hard to understand and seems to be very hard for you to think that you can actually examine your thought every moment. Actually, it's possible. Every moment maybe not possible. So the idea of awakening is that you are able to examine your thoughts and to let them go every moment. That would be awakening. So what we do is not to let mindfulness break. Okay, that means to always be mindful as many moments in a day as possible, preferably 4 to 6 hours a day without it being broken. Yeah. That is that was a practice I always strive for when I'm in meditation retreats, and at home during the pandemic I did 4 hours of meditation, but now a bit slack. I don't know, a bit tired. I think I'm aging. Anyway, that's why you see, when you think that you're too young to meditate, you're wrong. Okay, meditation, mindfulness should be done when you're young. Next, the result of his awakening is the transcendent. Oh, that means awakening is a cause, okay, for the result. Cause is awakening as a cause, okay, the result is transcendent. What is the result of awakening? The result of awakening is the stilling of all defilements, meaning distorted thinking. Distorted thinking consists of what? Great hatred, delusion. Stilling them, stilling mental fermentation, meaning the result of awakening is there are less and less, actually almost no more thoughts left. Thoughts will touch emptiness and it dissolves. That's it. Okay. Why do I focus on thoughts and I didn't say feeling? Because when there's a thought, there will naturally be a feeling. Wherever there's a thought, there is a neutral feeling. Because if that thought, even if that thought is not strong, there will always underlie a neutral feeling. And that neutral feeling is so subtle. What is that feeling? The feeling of I is very subtle. Okay, that's why I didn't mention feeling. Yeah, so it's a stilling of all defilements and mental formations. Okay, so you might be thinking, oh, that means the result of awakening means that I got no more view, no more thoughts. Not true. It's just that your thought is no longer distorted. Your thought will be guided by compassion and love. Okay, That is what it is. That means your only thought will be, how can you be of service? Which was the result of the Buddha's awakening, isn't it? It was through his compassion that he thought. Okay? And we can never disappoint him, because if he were to think so, I will be disappointed. That will be attachment. That will be attachment of love, and that is greed. So when the kind of thought touches that awareness or emptiness, okay, it dissolves. Finish, no more. That is a stealing of defilement. Okay, next. So we have to develop these qualities within ourselves, because Buddhism is not like, oh, there's a God, I can never be like that. No, Buddhism is everyone is God. What the Buddha can do, so can you. What Jesus can do, so can you. Okay, it doesn't deny your potentiality. That's why I like Buddhism. It's very empowering. It doesn't control. That's why the Buddha, to me, is a great teacher. So much love, there's no control. Actually, Jesus as well. It is not these teachers that make it out to be so. It's the followers that want to gain control. Okay? So anyway, let's come back to this. Buddha Sati, meaning mindfulness of the Buddha. Mindfulness like the Buddhas is what wakes us up. Buddha Sati. So when we think of the Buddha, we chant Buddho, we're reminded of the Buddha's qualities, which is full alertness, mindfulness. Okay, is what makes us correctly aware of cause and effect. Just like I said, what's the cause of feeling? No, what's the cause of feeling? Thoughts. Okay, what's the cause of thoughts? Feelings. They are like two sides of the same coin. Yeah, and next. The way to develop these qualities is to practice in line with the 4 frames of reference, what he means by the 4 foundations of mindfulness. 4 frames of reference. So you're using 4 objects as a reference to remember awareness. That's what it means by 4 frames of reference. This will enable us to reach the Buddha on the level of inner qualities. Okay? Alright? Next. Devotion continues after awakening. So the Buddha said, Shariputra, right, his right-hand disciple, considering what benefit does a practitioner with defilements ended, while still alive, continue to show utmost devotion for the realized one or his instructions, meaning an arahant, while still alive. How does it benefit an arahant while still alive to continue to show utmost devotion for the Buddha and instructions? Shariputra answered, Sir, it is considering the supreme sanctuary from the yoke, meaning the prison of your small ego mind, that a practitioner with defilements ended while still alive continues to show utmost devotion for the realized one or his instruction. It is considering the supreme sanctuary. That means this realized person, right, have tasted and fully experienced this supreme sanctuary from the prison of his small selfish mind. Yeah, it is owing to or this gratitude, okay, to the Buddha who has taught him so, that he still shows devotion, that there is that devotion which is love, which is part of this supreme sanctuary anyway, right? Okay, so the Buddha said, good, Shariputra, for it is considering the supreme sanctuary from the yoke, okay, this bliss, this contentment, this bliss and awareness that the mind continuously rests into, yeah, that is freed from the prison of the small miserly self, okay, that the practitioner whose distortion, defilements are ended while still alive. It is so, right, that he shows utmost devotion. And what is this supreme sanctuary from the yoke? So he expands on what it is. It is when a practitioner with defilements ended. That means the endless ceasing thoughts about the self ended. Develops the faculties of faith, energy, mindfulness, stillness, meaning samadhi, immersion, and wisdom. So this is the 5 spiritual faculties which lead to peace and awakening. It is considering this supreme sanctuary from the yoke, okay, while still alive. The mendicant who is awakened while still alive continues to show. Okay, so this supreme sanctuary includes the 5 spiritual power of 5 spiritual faculties lah. Wow, that means it's very high level actually, right? Okay, so good Shariputra, for this is that supreme sanctuary from the yoke. So the Buddha agrees with him lah. And what the Buddha asks, and what is the utmost devotion that a practitioner with defilements ended while still alive? What is this devotion? Okay, continues to show towards the Buddha or his instruction. Then Shariputra said, is when a practitioner with defilements ended maintains respect and reverence for the teacher. This is what is meant by also meant by utmost devotion, because love means you have gratitude. Gratitude means you got respect and reverence, right? Okay, towards the teacher, the teaching, and the entire community, okay, which includes the training and samadhi, immersion, which is stillness. That is the utmost devotion, okay? So you see, devotion includes love, gratitude, shows in respect and reverence, okay? And what is this supreme sanctuary that is imbued in the realized person? It's faith, energy, mindfulness, samadhi, which is also translated as immersion and wisdom. Immersion in what? Immersion means the mind fully rest. Mind means spirit, and spirit is very wide. Fully rest in itself. Okay, immerse in itself, in the sea, in the vastness of openness, open heart. It's no longer a small self. Okay, so there was a story of Venerable Vakali when he was sick, right? He was gravely ill and asked to see the Buddha. The Buddha came and asked him if he was getting better. He said no, his illness getting worse. Then the Buddha know that he's going to die and asked him, does he have any remorse and regret? And Venerable Vakali said yes. His regret lies not in the loss of virtue, but in not being able to see, his visual consciousness, the Buddha in person, having been sick. That means when he's sick, he cannot see the Buddha. This he feel a loss, he feel remorse, and he doesn't even worry about losing his virtue. He worry more about not seeing the Buddha. What did the Buddha say? The Buddha said, enough, Vakali. Why do you want to see this foul body? One who sees the Dhamma sees me. You see, it's very clear. One who sees me sees the Dhamma. For in seeing the Dhamma, which is truth, emptiness, Vakali, one sees me. And in seeing me, one sees the Dhamma. Dhamma means truth. What is truth? Every phenomenon, you and me, the chair, table, every phenomenon, is empty of a personality. There's no one there. It's just a manifestation of condition. But there's something sublime in that. It's not total nothingness. So when you see the Dhamma like that, you see the Buddha. Then the Buddha went on with Vakali, right? With the Anatta Sutta is Anatta, the not self sutta. Is form permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, sir, he said. Therefore, seeing thus, he understands there is no more for this state of being. Then, after the Buddha said this to Venerable Vakali, he left, departed for Mount Vulture Peak. Not long after the Buddha left, Venerable Vakali asked his attendants, come friends, lift me up on this bed, carry me to the black rock, on a slope. How can one like me think of dying among the houses? So he is homeless, he wants to die in nature, outside amongst nature. So they carried him outside. Then the Buddha spent the rest of the day and night on Mount Vulture Peak. One night was well advanced. Two devatas of stunning beauty approached the Blessed One. Blessed One, Venerable Sir, the Bhikkhu Vakali is intent on deliverance. So they informed the Buddha. The other Devata said, surely, Venerable Sir, he will be liberated as one well liberated. This is what those Devatas said. Those spirit, those good, nice spirit, or of a higher realm. Of course, the Buddha is, no need to say, okay, no more realm, he's fully liberated. Having said this, they paid homage to the Buddha, keeping him on their right, they disappeared right there. The Buddha then asked the monks to send word to Venerable Vakali what the Deva said and told him not to be afraid. So he want to tell Venerable Vakali not to be afraid. There you see. At death, we all face fear, okay? Then because Venerable Vakali is intent on awakening. To be intent on awakening, you have to see through fear, okay? So then Venerable Vakali said, ask the monks to send word to the Buddha. Well then, friends, pay homage to the Blessed One in my name, with your head at his feet, and say, Venerable Sir, Bhikkhu Vakali is sick, gravely ill. He pays homage to the Blessed One with his head at his feet. Then say, form is impermanent. I have no perplexity about this. That means he's no longer confused. Okay, I do not doubt that whatever is impermanent is suffering. Okay, he's no longer confused. I do not doubt in regard to what is impermanent, suffering and subject to change. Okay, that means he has no more lust for his body, no more affection for the body, which is failing him. So he has seen through it. 看破红尘, that is in Chinese, 看破红尘, the truth about the body. So he is moving past fear, that means. Okay, only when you still identify the body as a self, you have fear. Feeling is impermanent, perception is impermanent. So you realize, this is part of the body. Volitional formations are impermanent, part of the body. Thoughts, form are part of the body. Consciousness, sense consciousness is impermanent. He's no longer confused about this. Sir, I do not doubt whatever is impermanent is suffering. It means let go of this body. I have no more desire, lust, or affection for the body. Yes, friend, those bhikkhus replied. Then they departed. Long after they departed, Venerable Vakali used the knife. That means he committed suicide. Then those bhikkhu approached the Blessed One, delivered their message. The Blessed One then addressed the bhikkhus thus. Come, bhikkhus, let us go to the black rock on the Isigili slope, where Vakali has used the knife, committed suicide. Yes, sir, those bhikkhus replied. Together with a number of monks, they went to the black rock on Isigili slope. Then the Buddha saw from distance Venerable Vakali lying on the bed with his shoulder turned. Now on that occasion, a cloud of smoke, a swirl of darkness, was moving to the east, to the west, north, south, upwards, downwards, to the intermediate quarters. The Blessed One then addressed the monks thus. Do you see, bhikkhus, that cloud of smoke, that swirl of darkness, moving east, west, top, north, south, upwards, downwards? Then the monk said, yes, sir. Then he said, that, bhikkhus, is the Mara, the evil one, searching for the consciousness of the clansman Vakali, wondering, where now has the consciousness of the clansman Vakali been established? However, bhikkhus, with consciousness unestablished, the Bhikkhu Vakali has attained final nirvana. Meaning there is no more thought formations, no more form, no more subtle form even to be found, okay, after his death. Okay, right, so basically, let me go back. Yeah, when you let go of great hatred and delusion, there's no more subtle form. So you see, when we crave for a body, our thought will have formations, craving, and it forms a subtle form. Meaning, even when you pass away and you go to the higher realms, there is also a subtle form. Okay, the material form is a subtle material form that exists. So he's saying that this Mara now cannot find this form upon Vakali's death. So it also tells you that it is not devotion itself that bring you to liberation. Okay, it's devotion that helps you on the path, that makes you committed to the path. Okay, so devotion based on seeing the monk, seeing even the Buddha, will not liberate you. Okay, so that's the moral of the story. It is really wisdom. Okay, and love is the support. Okay, right? So okay, so I'll end the session here and continue next time. Thank you.